This is a video I thought I would never make. Am I giving up Macs? This is Scott with Techno Clips, and I will see you after the intro. A few videos back, I had mentioned something that, man, maybe it would be nice to build a Hackintosh and sell my MacBook because I'm not really sure if I need the portability right now. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell my Mac and build a computer. Now, don't hate me for this. As you know, I am a super fan of Macs. I love Mac OS. I really don't care for Windows. I have tried to use Windows on many different occasions, and each time I just don't like it. And every time I try to use Windows, I end up just going back to Mac, whether it's building a PC, trying to use Windows, and then just turning it into a Hackintosh, or it's having a Surface Pro 3 and then selling that and going back to a MacBook. I have just always liked Mac OS way better than Windows. I think it's a lot easier for me to use. I just am more comfortable with it. I love how everything works seamlessly together. But there are a couple things that I don't love about my MacBook Pro. And I'm not sure if I'm going to sell my MacBook or if I'm going to just decide to keep it. But I'm looking into building a Hackintosh. And this isn't just going to be like some run-of-the-mill, like, let me do budget. I'm going to make it pretty good. As good as I can within my budget, which would be essentially every dollar I make from the MacBook Pro. And so what I've noticed recently is that using Premiere Pro, which I really enjoy, and I like it more than Final Cut, and I've always said Final Cut is one of the benefits of Mac OS, but I just don't really care for Final Cut. Premiere Pro, on the other hand, is totally different. I really enjoy using it. I've had a lot of fun learning it, and I've had a lot of fun using it, and it's made my videos a little bit better, I think, and obviously I'm still working on video editing and just learning more and more, but I think Premiere Pro is going to be, for a while at least, the video editing software that I choose to use. But I don't want to have to use Premiere Pro without some of the benefits I get with Mac, and that some of the benefits are the trackpad. I love using the trackpad on Premiere Pro. Scrubbing through the timeline is really seamless, and I really do enjoy that, and zooming in, zooming out, I really enjoy those things. Those are some of my favorite things, so I'm going to buy a Magic trackpad. I'm going to list all of my parts out that I'm going to purchase for this computer, and it's all within what I want out of a computer, and it's all things that Macs give me. I just need and want just a little bit more power, and at the moment I don't need portability, which is kind of cool because I've always needed portability in my laptops, but moving down to Florida, I've realized I'm going to be spending more time in our apartment, and if I do go outside, I'm not going to be editing, or I'm not going to be editing videos over lunch at work, because I'll just do those at home because of the computer I have here. So, what are the parts that I'm going to get? Well, this is all theoretical. Let me know if you guys think I should do this or not down below, because this is like a big change for me. I'm not even sure if I want to do this. But to start, I'm going to go with a Z370 motherboard from Gigabyte, I believe. I'll have to double check on that one. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a 300 series motherboard with, I believe it's overclockable, and it should have 4 RAM slots, which are things I enjoy. And it might come with Wi-Fi, but I think I'm going to get a different card, and I'll mention that later. The CPU I'm going to go with, I think, unless I can find an i5 8600K cheaper than what I found an i5 8400. I'm just going to go with the i5 8400 for now. It's a 6-core processor. The Geekbench scores on it compared to my current MacBook Pro are over 50% higher. It's about 20,000 to 21,000, and my MacBook is 13,000. So the performance gains will be substantial on the CPU side. I'm going to be using a GTX 780. The reason for that is I have a GTX 780 and I don't feel the need to spend money on another graphics card. And I know macOS typically supports 7 series Nvidia graphics cards natively, because I know in my current computer they have a GT 750, so they should support the 700 series cards natively. They should. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just sell that and probably go with an RX 480 if I can find one. I've always thought the referenced RX 480s looked so sick by AMD, and I always thought those looked so good. So maybe I'll get that one. But the problem is those are crypto miner cards, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find one that hasn't been crypto mined or that isn't just $200 more than it should be. Either way, I should be able to get it to work with just the integrated graphics on the chip, and then I'll put the 780 in and get that to work either way. But I'm hoping that that 780 works natively. I'm going to go with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory running in dual channel. I want to have the option to upgrade to 32 gigabytes if I find that 16 just isn't enough. I don't think it's going to be a problem. 16 should be plenty. That's what I use now. I haven't noticed a problem now. I don't think I'll notice a problem then. But I think that's going to be important for me, is just having a little extra RAM, not just 8 gigabytes. I don't think I need 32. I think 16 is going to be that sweet spot. Next, I'm going to probably just get the cheapest case I can find. I don't really care about like peripherals and how they look. I'm interested in maybe modding it to maybe make it look cool, maybe carving an Apple logo out with like a Dremel. I think that would be really cool, and put like an LED panel behind it. I think that would look sick, actually. I hope I can do that. I guess gotta find the proper case, and I want it to be a dollar amount that I can agree with. The power supply, I'm gonna be getting probably a 600 watt power supply, modular, semi-modular, whichever one's the cheapest, rated at bronze or silver. I don't really need anything too big, although the 780 does draw a ton of power, which is the reason I would need probably 600 watts. I think the minimum is 600 watt power supply suggested. I already have a couple of SSDs lying around that I'm going to, one of them already has macOS downloaded on it, the other one has Windows. I am going to probably have a small Windows, maybe just keep it as like a boot drive, because I do have a couple files that I can access on Windows that I just kind of need, and I just like having the option to have Windows. One reason is because I like being able to game sometimes, and I think Windows is the only real way for me to do that. And with the 780 and the i5-8400, that's going to be enough to definitely game at solid frame rates, at solid resolution, at probably 4K at around between 30 and 45 on most games on mid to high settings, or if I wanted 4K gaming, then I'll have to go with a little bit lower settings, but I should be able to manage that, especially with that setup. Next, I want to get Bluetooth and Wi-Fi working extremely well on Hackintosh. That's one of the biggest problems with handoff and with all of those other problems. Continuity, handoff, iMessage, and just a bunch of simple little things that you don't really realize use Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi that just make the macOS experience better, like AirDrop, silly things like that. And I want my AirPods to work well with it. I want this to be essentially a Mac that I just built. That Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip is going to be taken from a 2013-2014 iMac, and it'll plug into a PCIe expansion card by one that you plug into your PCIe slot, and then it'll work with native macOS, which is really cool. And I'm actually really excited about that, because I'm excited to get good Hackintosh ability. I've built a lot of Hackintoshes, but I've always cut corners here, cut corners there to save some money. But I'm just going to pretty much go all in on this one, because I want this to be the final computer that I built for a really long time. That's going to last me a while. That when I choose to upgrade it, I can. And when I eventually go back to a MacBook, because I know I'm going to want to go back to a MacBook, I'm going to want to go to a 2018 MacBook Pro with a 6-core i7. I know that's what I want in the future, but those are just too much money now. That's why I'm building my own computer. And I've thought about maybe getting a Mac Pro, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because I just like the ability of being able to upgrade it with newer CPUs and newer RAM and newer graphics cards. So that's pretty much it. I think that's it for my parts list. I'll list them off real quick. That's 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, probably running at 2400 megahertz, a Z370 motherboard by Gigabyte, a i5-8400, a GTX 780, an SSD, a couple SSDs, power supply, no big deal. Those are things you guys don't really need to worry about. I'm also buying a 4K monitor too. I'm hoping for around 200 to 250, and I want the high resolution again because I'm used to a high resolution screen with my MacBook Pro. It's an 1800 by 2800 resolution. It's beautiful. I love it a lot. So I would love to know you guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Should I actually do it? Should I sell my MacBook Pro to build this Hackintosh, build this computer? I'm really thinking about it. I just think there are things about macOS that I really like and that I'm going to have to spend a little extra on. Like, I'm going to buy a Magic Trackpad. I want to get an actual Apple branded keyboard and maybe even a Magic Mouse. I'm not sure about the Magic Mouse, but I know I want to get a trackpad, Magic Trackpad for sure, because there are so many gestures on macOS that I love using and are so comfortable with, but I just need those. I just need to be able to do those when I get a Hackintosh. That's why I'm going to buy the trackpad. That's why I'm going to buy the little extra thing just to make the things about macOS that I really like actually work. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, obviously, in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm dumb for even thinking this? I'm not sure. I haven't sold the MacBook Pro yet. I'm getting it ready to sell, but haven't deleted anything. I haven't listed it or anything. I'm still wavering. I'd actually like to know you guys' thoughts on it because it's kind of like a rash decision, I think. Although I've been thinking about it for about a couple weeks now, and I think that I don't know. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Really, I really want macOS. That's the thing. I don't want to run a Windows computer, and my best option, I think, is purchasing computer parts to build in order to get a computer that's more powerful than what I have now and that can possibly game, that's just going to be able to be upgradable. I don't know, I've looked at maybe an iMac from 2012 and 2013. Those are actually upgradable. You have to rip the screen off, but I would be okay doing that if I knew that what I was going to do would actually enhance my performance and actually be better. But I think, I'm not sure. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Am I being stupid about this? Like, oh, I didn't need more power and I don't really need more power. I don't know. There's so many thoughts I have right now about what I'm doing that it's kind of crazy, but it's interesting. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts. Again, I don't want to build a Windows PC. Don't be like, well, you should just build a Windows computer, because I don't want that. I want Mac OS. That's what I'm most comfortable with. That's what I'm the best at. That's why I own all these Apple products. So, okay, again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Should I do this? Should I not do this? This has been Scott with Techno 8 Clips, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out.